It's the National Football League on EA Sports, as we see the two teams who fought back in Super Bowl 18. Who knows what we're in store for here? And it comes your way next on Madden NFL 25.
Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started.
And we are underway from Commander's Field. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Smith going to go to the air first play. Short throw caught by Bowers.
5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A shotgun snap for Smith. He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
What I continually hear from running backs and offensive linemen is how often they're actually getting together to watch film so they can get in sync with each other, understand blocking patterns better, how a running back likes to cut, what he wants to do. And, boy, it all came together on that one.
That's one where they watch it and say, hey, we did everything we were supposed to do right there.
That looked like the play we drew up and designed. And then we got to see it unfold in real time.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
But that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
To throw is Smith.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
Brock Bowers.
26 yards.
And the Raiders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
On that third down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson.
And that makes it 7-zip Vegas.
So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
2nd and 10. Now Daniels. Open man is Noah Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. Room here to run.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
To the air goes Daniels.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues.
Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense.
They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. Over the middle, it's complete. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Could be some contact going on.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there. And it helps him move the sticks. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 4.
Back to throw, Smith. Throwing middle, and it's complete. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Geno now to throw.
That's caught by Tucker.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Here's Smith.
That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Again, Smith. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Open man is Tucker.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Able to slither by.
And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Raiders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it.
I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Back to Robinson now on first down.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. To throw is Daniels. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Raiders will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful to get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now Geno.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Throwing now is Geno.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw.
Caught by Mayer.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith.
Very quick throw. He's got Myers.
And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
On the move past the 40.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
A 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Daniels looking to throw.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Second down and 8. Throwing now is Daniels.
It's complete to Robinson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 3rd and 1. A final shot before break. Daniels.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top.
As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half, 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
2nd and 7. Here's Daniels. Open man is Samuel, complete. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Operating from the gun, Daniels. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Throwing it Terry McLaurin's way again, and he's got it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Short throw here to the tight end Bates.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
From the gun on 3rd down, Daniels. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Robinson, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Operating from the gun, Daniels. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Back to throw. Daniels. Touchdown! Noah Brown from 6 yards away.
And the Commanders are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And it's 17-7. A 10-play drive that time. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Throwing is Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Bowers. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Smith. Open man is Myers. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now it's Smith. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw.
And that one to the right side and incomplete.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jalen Smith buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Now Daniels.
This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
To the air goes Daniels.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point of the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line.
The Raiders offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Here's Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Myers. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Back now at Commanders Field.
It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. They run a draw here on 2nd down. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Smith.
Here's Tucker, complete on the right side. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 35. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Slot man moves right. Now Smith. Escaping the... And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Geno now to throw.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
The Raiders on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. To throw is Smith. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Washington ready to try again on offense.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
And his throw is incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Daniels. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Daniels going to throw for it.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first.
And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Now a quick throw out wide to Myers.
And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Now Geno. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Tucker. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Raiders have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2. Geno's going to throw. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Washington offense set to take over. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but Certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league.
Touchdown, Washington. Noah Brown, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics would tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important third down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Try to take this home. They'll run.
And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts.
That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Now a handoff running through the middle.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Now a 3rd and 6.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he's going to have a Raider first down. And that should be the one that finishes the script here. 102 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Down to a knee, here goes Smith, and that should all but do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.